reason to make dumb makeup purchases and for companies to prey on your FOMO. So if you're curious about hearing how these makeup companies are so fucking evil for doing that, you go right ahead, skip the intro and keep on watching. Hello beautiful people, hi, my name is Mia and this is my virtual vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we're quite critical of it. But you know what I don't love? Companies that keep putting out limited edition items. And we are currently in the season where there are a lot, and I mean a fuck ton, metric garbage can trash full of tons of limited makeup releases that these companies are using to prey on you and people just like you, like me, that love makeup and keep up with the makeup releases. But before we get to that, if you're curious about this monochromatic sort of look, this is a look I created with the Pantone color of the year, Living Coral, as part of the monochromatic makeup tag created by Hannah from Hannah Louise's Postons channel. So if you're curious about that, I'm gonna link it down below. But let's get back to holiday releases that are evil. Well, not necessarily evil, you know, all corporations are more or less evil. They do not have morals like you and I have, and their only purpose is to generate revenue, aka make money. A great way to make money is to put out limited edition products. Why is that, though? I'm going to try to answer this from a consumer's perspective. I'm not a psychologist or a sociologist or a marketing expert, so if there are any of those that somehow watch my videos, I would really like to hear your input. But from what I can tell, it is basically the best strategy to use to prey on FOMO. FOMO is fear of missing out. So FOMO. And to understand why they prey on FOMO, let's first talk about what a limited edition item is. I'm sure we all know this, but just to make sure, you know, a limited edition item, or an LE item, is an item that is supposed to be in stock for a limited amount of time, for a limited amount of units produced, and after all of those units are gone, or the period of time allocated to the selling of that item is gone, then you will not be able to get it anymore. What this does, this induces a scarcity mentality as well as a time pressure on the consumer. Go. Be right back, I need to make my computer shut up. Ah, the sweet sound of silence. So what I mean by scarcity mentality is that the more you think that you will miss out on something and that it is so limited that only a number of people will be able to get it, the more it makes you want it. Because one, it's a sense of exclusivity, but two, and this one is the most important, they give you the impression that there is never going to be something like this, something similar enough, something good enough, something original enough, which is a bald-faced lie, because there are plenty of similar things on the market, and the consumer is like, yeah, but it's not that thing, and it will never amount to the level of what that thing could have been, and if I miss out on that thing, then I miss out on everything. Do you see what I get when I say scarcity mentality? I mean, I could explain it better, or I should have explained it better, but this is basically what it is. The feeling that you will never get something quite like this, and that is the only one item that you can get, and that this item offers you something that other items cannot, hence it is scarce, unique. What I mean by a time pressure is that along the fact that this item is marketed as completely unique and something that you will not be able to get again, time pressure is that if you do not get this item right now, right today, right this hour, well, maybe in an hour, you won't have it anymore and you will be missing out. So this pressures you to make a decision quicker and a decision that is made as a snap judgment is not always the best one. It basically pressures you to make a decision very quick without taking in account all of the other factors, because you've gotta calculate this equation really quick before everything else sells out. I've seen people buy limited edition bullshit just because it was limited edition, and then they regretted it because they were like, oh, this is too similar, this is not that great, this is not what I thought it would be. Basically regretting that they spent the money doing a rushed snap judgment that they made under pressure, under this time pressure and under this scarcity mentality, that if they miss out on this right now, they will never get an occasion to do so again. Now let's talk about how limited these items actually are, because they do prey on both things that I mentioned before, but then they bring it back, which is like, it completely defeats the purpose of a limited edition item. So basically they keep preying on your wallet while giving you a fake sense of scarcity and time pressure, because they do plan to bring those back eventually to trick more people into making quick decisions and buying their crap. Now, I don't talk about restocks that happened due to popular demand and that went through months after the initial launch. Like, if there is a long enough period of time, that shows me that they did indeed consider that a lot of people still want it and produced a new batch. The restocks that I'm talking about that are insidious and basically fake restocks are those that happen a couple of days after, even a week after, even 2 weeks after. There is no way that you manage to produce a cosmetic product in only 2 weeks. You don't even get the shipment for your materials, or you don't even finish production in 2 weeks. Like, the lifespan of a cosmetic product in production is much slower than that. So when they restock things in a week, that shows me that they had kept that stock just for this occasion. So they basically preyed on your fears of missing out once, and they're gonna prey on it twice again. They're doing so very, and I mean very deliberately. They know what they're doing. Now, I also see limited edition items that are limited to 1 or 2 items per person, which, let me tell you why they do that. One, again, to induce scarcity. Because if you are not able to get 2 of those, then everybody needs to buy their individual item and pay shipping for it, and be even more in a rush to get it for fear that if they do not order it fast enough, somebody will get to it before them. Then another thing is to prevent backups and to prevent a resale. To prevent backups, it is quite straightforward. It's again to increase that scarcity mentality of you not having that product and never having it again after it's gone, to increase the exclusivity and status of having that item and still having that item. That is also used to prevent resale. And what I mean is that some people buy limited edition products just to resell at a crazy markup, and those people are also evil, because not only are they preying on your fear of missing out, but they are also charging you huge markups for it. Like, they can smell your desperation, like dogs can smell fear, and they know that there is someone that's gonna pay a crazy markup for that product just to have it, because they get anxious about missing out. So at this point, I don't know who is more evil, the companies that originally preyed on you, or the people that resale and do that again but at a higher markup. Fucking assholes, to be honest. Another thing that I want to talk about is that usually limited edition items are much poorer quality. either because they are quick to come to market, quick to develop, quick to come to market, also because companies know that you're gonna buy them anyway, so they don't give a shit. They just don't care. They just don't care. Because they know that your fear of missing out will make you buy the product no matter the quality. And because people will not wait for reviews. They will not wait for reviews for fear of missing out. So eventually you buy that product without seeing a review and without hearing first that it's bad quality, and you end up discovering that for yourself. They do not have the luxury to gamble like this with permanent edition items because people can wait indefinitely to get them. So if the item is poor quality, people will have a chance to hear about it. To wrap up this video, I want to give you examples of companies that do create real limited edition items, companies that don't create real limited edition items, and when to buy limited edition. So let's start with companies that create real limited edition items. VIPeach would be one of them. Like, when it's gone, for them it's gone. Most of the time, at least. But now that I think of it, can you imagine that those are so rare that I'm having a hard time thinking about any other than VIPeach? And then the ones that put out fake limited edition, as in, oh, it's limited stock, just get it now, and then they're gonna restock it in a week or two. Morphe does that all of the goddamn time, especially for influencer collaborations, and I see right through fucking them. Too Faced does it sometimes. Like, there are a lot of brands that do this bullshit. So we kind of have to ask ourselves, when do we buy limited edition? So if it's from a brand that you know and trust with their quality to be consistent, if it's well priced, if you've given it at least a couple of hours of thought and considered how it would fit with your preferences, with your collection, if it was a limited edition, then you would buy it too, and if you have the money for it, of course, then buy it if you really want to. However, if those aren't met, if you don't have the money, if you wouldn't buy it if it weren't limited edition, if you are unsure if the quality is going to be good, then I suggest not gambling your money away. Like, imagine how much Domino's pizza you could get with that money. Like, imagine the amount of food you could get with that money. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would rather have a funghi and prosciutto pizza rather than have one palette that I will use maybe 2 times and then be pissed at because I give the money for it. But that might be just, you know, the glutton in me talking. Yes, basically this was it with my thoughts on limited edition items. Like, don't get me wrong, I have bought limited edition before. I am not ashamed to say that I did so, but there is quite a difference between buying limited edition after giving it a bit of consideration and buying limited edition just because you have FOMO. Like, I am not condemning anyone that does. We are human and we are very sensitive to insidious marketing strategies that these companies have spent years and years of marketing studies and studying your behavior and studying your data to appeal to you. So I don't blame you when that happens, but we can all strive to do a bit better and not give in into this stupid peak consumerist culture that these limited edition products promote. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you will have a great, wonderful day. But before you go, please tell me, what limited edition items have you been lately interested in? What have you gotten that was LE and you enjoyed? What are the brands that you hate for doing LE stuff? Let me know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Maybe subscribe if you enjoyed this whole situation. I hope I'll see you guys soon. Bye.